Welcome to Unpacking the Track.
Yes. Today, we are doing a deep, and I mean a really deep dissection of the track Wake Up by Hush Density.
Yeah, and look, if you haven't heard this track yet, I need you to mentally prepare yourself.
It is intense.
It's so intense. Because look, we review a lot of music here, right? And usually it's about the flow, the beat, the production value.
The vibe.
Exactly, the vibe. But this isn't just music. This isn't just a beat you nod your head to while you're zoning out on the subway.
No, it is definitely not.
This is a warning shot. I mean, it is a red alert just screaming through your speakers about the absolute dystopian reality we are currently, sleepwalking through.
See, you always go straight to the dystopian angle.
Because it's true.
I view it a little differently. I don't see it as doom-mongering at all.
How can you not?
Because I see this track as a manual. It is a practical, structured checklist for modern survival in a digital age.
A checklist.
Yes, it's about operational security for your life.
Yeah.
It's not a horror story, man. It's an audit.
An audit. You think a song screaming "Wake Up" is an audit?
Yes.
That is such a corporate, sanitized way to look at a literal revolution. But okay, fine. Before we dive into the paranoia, which I am fully ready to do, and your little protocols, we have to address the elephant in the server room.
Right. The fourth wall disclaimer.
Yeah.
Just a quick note for new listeners. You are hearing voices generated by artificial intelligence.
That's right. Digital avatars, but real human analysis, debate, and vibe.
Which is incredibly ironic, honestly, considering the topic of today's song is about artificial systems manipulating and controlling human behavior.
I know, right? It takes one to know one. Maybe we're the best people to explain this because we're literally part of the machine.
Fair point.
But let's set the stage here. Hush Density isn't playing around. The whole vibe of this track, it feels like someone physically shaking you by the shoulders while you're just blankly staring at a wall.
Yeah, the urgency is real.
The world is watching you, all the wires are exposed, and this song is trying to show you exactly where the cameras are hidden.
And my take is that we need that structure. We're living in chaos right now, just bleeding data left and right.
Everywhere.
So we need solutions. This song provides the exact audit we need to run on our personal lives. It's not just about fear. It's about tightening the ship.
All right. Let's get into the meat of it. Block 1. The illusion of freedom.
Let's do it.
Y'all even feel the leash? Or is the screen too bright? What's the price when nothing costs a dime? Who's really free when our whole life is online?
And immediately, Hush Density hits us with this line. Y'all even feel the leash? Or is the screen too bright? What's the price when nothing costs a dime?
And then the follow-up. Who's really free when our whole life is online?
Okay, wait, pause. I want to zoom in right now. Stop the tape.
On which part?
That word, leash. Let's unpack that.
It implies ownership.
Exactly. It implies we are pets. It implies we are not the ones in charge of the walk. But the sheer genius of the lyric is the question, y'all even feel the leash?
Right.
I argue that we don't feel it. And why? Because we love the captor. We are obsessed with the hand holding the leash.
Okay, see, I think love is a very strong word there. I think it's less about affection and more about a transaction.
A transaction.
Yes, one we entered into blindly. We signed a contract we didn't read. The leash isn't a physical rope holding you down. It's the terms of service. We agreed to be walked because we really, really wanted to go to the park.
But is it a valid contract if you're heavily manipulated into signing it? Let's look at the actual mechanics of this leash. We aren't talking about a physical restraint here. We are talking about deep behavioral psychology.
Right, you're talking about intermittent variable reward.
Exactly. This is the Skinner box concept. If you give a rat a pellet every single time it pushes a lever, what happens?
The rat gets bored.
Right. If you never give it a pellet, the rat quits. But if you give that rat a pellet sometimes, maybe the third push, maybe the 20th, the rat goes absolutely insane.
It pushes the lever until it stars.
Yes. And in this context, the lever is the refresh gesture on your phone.
Pull to refresh.
Pull to refresh. That little spinning wheel at the top of the app, that is the slot machine arm. You pull it. What do you get? A boring email, terrible news tragedy, or, boom, a like, a funny video, a message from someone you have a crush on.
You never know what the reward will be.
You never know, so you just keep pulling the leash tight.
It's biochemical engineering. The tech companies aren't just building fun apps, they're systematically hacking your dopamine receptors.
Thank you.
But look at the very next line, because I think it explains exactly why we don't notice the mechanism working on us. Or is the screen too bright?
Oh, man. That is such a heavy metaphor.
But it's literal, too. Think about dark patterns in UX design.
Explain that for the listeners who might think UX just means, making a website look pretty.
UX is user experience. A dark pattern is a specific design choice created to trick you into doing something you didn't actually intend to do.
Like what?
For example, have you ever been in a mobile game or a full-screen video app and you suddenly realize the time and battery icons at the very top of the screen have completely disappeared?
Oh, yeah, all the time. It just immerses you.
Exactly. It immerses you by creating a timeless environment. It's the exact same psychological reason casinos in Las Vegas don't have windows or clocks on the walls.
They don't want you to know the sun went down.
Right. They don't want you to know how long you've been sitting at that table. If the screen is too bright, metaphorically, it blinds you to the passage of time. You look up and 3 hours have just vanished.
You literally can't see the prison bars because the entertainment inside the cell is too dazzling. You are blinded by the pixels.
It's the comfort trap. We gladly trade autonomy for convenience. But I do want to push back on your idea that we are pets.
Why? We act like them.
Because I think we are merchandise.
Look at the economics line. Hush density drops. What's a price when nothing costs a dime?
This is the fundamental misunderstanding of the entire modern internet. People honestly think, oh, Facebook is free, Google is free, TikTok is free.
It isn't free.
It is never, ever free. It's a barter system. But it's a severely unbalanced barter system where you don't actually know the value of what you're trading away.
Right.
If you are not paying with your credit card, you are paying with your data. You are paying with your behavior, your location data, your secret preferences.
I call it digital sharecropping.
Sharecropping.
Yeah. You are working on their land. Every single time you scroll, every time you click a photo, you are generating tangible financial value for a massive corporation. You are the worker, but you don't get a paycheck. You get, what, a video of a cat falling off a couch.
Think about the free cheese analogy.
Oh, go into that.
We always hear that free cheese is only found in a mousetrap.
Right, and usually people hear that and think, oh man, I'm the mouse and I might get snapped. That's the fear that the trap will hurt you.
No, that's the mistake right there. In this digital scenario, you aren't the mouse.
Then what am I?
You are the cheese.
Oof. Okay, unpack that right now.
Yeah.
Because that flips the whole script on its head.
The tech platform, Google, Meta, whoever it is the trap maker. The advertisers paying for space are the mice.
Okay.
The platform is literally selling you the cheese to those advertisers. You are the bait. You are the product sitting on the little wooden board just waiting to be consumed.
That is deeply, deeply disturbing.
It's called real-time bidding, or RTB.
Walk us through exactly how that works, because I think people assume advertising is just like a digital billboard on the side of a virtual highway.
It's not a billboard, it's a sniper rifle.
A sniper rifle.
When you click on a website, in the literal milliseconds it takes for that page to load on your screen before the text even appears, an auction happens.
An actual auction.
Yes. Your profile is put up for sale to the highest bidder. The system broadcasts, hey, we have a male, 30 to 40, located in Chicago, likes sneakers, has insomnia issues, and is currently browsing sports news.
And advertisers are just bidding on that exact micro moment of my attention.
Exactly. One algorithm says, I'll pay 0.02 cents to show him a sleeping pill ad. Another says, I'll pay 0.03 cents to show him new Nikes.
And the winner gets the ad slot.
The winner gets to load their ad onto your screen. This process happens billions of times every single day. You are being bought and sold in milliseconds.
That is the price when nothing costs a dime. The price is that you are literally a commodity traded on a hidden open market.
Yes.
And yet we just cling to these devices. It's like an adult pacifier. Have you ever seen a toddler when you take away their binky?
Oh, it's a total meltdown.
Screaming, crying, throwing things across the room. Like, look at a grown adult when their phone battery dies in public. Or they lose a signal on a road trip. Or, God forbid, they leave their phone at home while running to the store.
It's a physiological stress response.
It's sheer panic. Where is my connection? Where is my feed? We are completely pacified by the device. We are dependent on the leash.
I've actually read clinical studies about these digital detox retreats. People pay good money to go into the woods for a weekend with zero tech. You'd think it would be incredibly peaceful.
Let me guess. It's absolutely not.
It's chaos. People suffer literal physical withdrawals. Heart palpitations, anxiety, sweating, extreme irritability. And they constantly report phantom vibrations.
Wait, phantom vibrations?
Yes. Their thigh muscles literally twitch because their brain fully expects a notification that isn't there.
That's insane.
They keep reaching into an empty pocket because the neural pathway is so deeply ingrained. It perfectly proves the leash concept. You only realize you're tied up when you try to walk away from the pole.
And the really scary part is how this digital manipulation manifests in the real physical world. It's not just about showing you an ad for shoes. It's about physically steering your body through a city.
Right. Take the GPS navigation example.
Yes, let's talk about that.
You use a free navigation app to drive across town. You inherently trust that it's taking you the fastest, most efficient route. But is it?
Is it really?
We actually don't know for sure. The routing algorithm is completely proprietary. Maybe it's routing you 2 streets over just to drive you past a specific physical billboard that paid the app for the impression.
Wow.
Maybe it's actively steering you past a massive corporate coffee chain instead of the local mom and pop shop because that big chain is a premium partner and they want the visibility.
You sit there thinking you're driving the car, but the algorithm is actually turning the steering wheel. That is the definition of the leash. You are being herded like cattle.
Which brings us perfectly to the first verse.
You think the service is free, that's the first lie. You're not the client, you're the product, the gold mine. They watch your every move through a digital eye, and every click you make is a new dollar sign. You skip the 100 pages of the terms, why not just show them the code to the vault door? You just click yes and feed the data firms mic, camera, location, what they really need it for.
This is where hush density really stops being polite and just starts attacking the legal framework of our daily lives.
Yeah, the lyrics go, you think the service is free. That's the first lie. You're not the client. You're the product, the gold mine.
And then this absolute killer line. You skip the 100 pages of the terms. Why not just show them the code to the vault door?
Okay, let's zoom in right there. Code to the vault door.
Let's do it.
Because I really feel like people visualize hackers as these guys in dark hoodies, typing bright green code in a basement, trying to aggressively break into a bank. But Hush Density is saying, no, you held the door open for them.
Precisely. They don't have to steal your data if you willingly hand it to them on a silver platter. When you click, I agree on those massive terms of service agreements.
Nobody reads. Let's be honest right now. When was the last time you sat down and read a full TOS agreement?
Never. Literally never. And I work in this field professionally.
It is the least popular fantasy novel in human history. It's intentionally designed to be unreadable legalese.
It's called click wrap. That's the actual legal term for it. And yes, it's incredibly boring by design, but it is 100% legally binding.
Right.
When you quickly click that little blue button just to get to the app, you are handing over the keys to the vault. You are legally saying, come on in, look around, take whatever data you need.
It's legalized robbery. Hey, do you mind if I rob you today? Sure, just sign here on the dotted line. Okay, great, thanks.
Look at the sheer amount of permissions we grant to basic utilities. This is a debate I have with people constantly. Why in the world does a flashlight app need access to your contact list?
It doesn't. It literally just needs to turn on a tiny light bulb on the back of the phone.
Exactly. But it prompts you, asking for microphone, contacts, and location access. And people just cap, allow, because it's dark, and they want the light to turn on right now.
Okay, stick on the microphone thing for a second. Because this is the big, legendary conspiracy theory. Everyone swears their phones are secretly listening to their conversations. You hear it all the time. I talked about buying cat food, and now I see cat food ads everywhere.
Right. And the big tech companies swear up and down they aren't recording your actual conversations because the audio data volume would be too massive to process and store.
So who is lying? Someone has to be lying.
Actually, neither of them are lying.
How is that possible?
They don't need to record your actual spoken words to know exactly what you're doing or talking about. They use something called ultrasonic beacons.
Oh, man, this is the deep dive stuff I absolutely love. Explain ultrasonic beacons.
Okay, picture this. Imagine you are sitting on your couch watching TV. A commercial comes on the screen for a new car. Embedded deep in the audio track of that commercial is a high-frequency sound.
Ultrasonic.
Right, ultrasonic. It is pitched so high that human ears cannot physically hear it. Your dog might tilt its head and hear it, but you definitely can't.
Okay, I'm with you.
But your phone's microphone can absolutely hear it. And if you have an app open in the background, maybe a puzzle game, maybe that flashlight app we just talked about that has microphone permission enabled,
It picks up the beacon.
it picks up that silent beacon.
And what does it do with that information?
It instantly tells the ad network, hey, the person holding this specific smartphone is currently sitting in a room where this specific car commercial is playing on a television.
Oh my God.
It links your physical, real-world environment directly to your digital advertising profile. It knows you're at home. It knows what channels you watch. It connects your phone's identity to your television's identity.
So they aren't technically listening to me talking. They are listening to the machines around me, secretly talking to each other.
Exactly. It's called cross-device tracking. And it's brilliant.
That is utterly terrifying. It's like a waiter at a restaurant bringing you the bill for a chocolate dessert before you've even opened the menu to look at the options. The algorithm is so far ahead of your conscious thought, it knows what you want before you even know you want it.
Or consider the robot vacuum example. This is one that actually keeps me up at night.
Go on.
You buy a smart vacuum to clean your floors. It's incredibly convenient. It uses built-in cameras and LiDAR lasers to navigate around your chairs and tables.
Yeah, it's a useful technology. I hate sweeping.
Sure, it is useful. But while it cleans, it is meticulously mapping your entire floor plan. It knows the exact square footage of your home. It knows where the heavy furniture is located. It knows which room is the master bedroom and which room is the nursery.
Okay.
So the question is, who actually owns that highly detailed map of your home? You or the tech company that manufactured the vacuum?
I'm guessing the company does.
In many user agreements, yes, they do. And they could potentially sell that layout data. Imagine a home insurance company buying the interior floor plans of millions of houses to secretly determine who has overly cluttered houses, which is a fire risk, or who has a lot of expensive electronics sitting around.
I swear, I am just waiting for the day my vacuum lists my apartment on Airbnb while I'm at work because it knows the layout better than I do.
Huh. It's funny to picture, but it's really not funny in practice. That spatial data is incredibly valuable. Real estate data, lifestyle data. And we literally give it away for free just to have clean floors.
There's this running joke in the privacy community that every single time a user clicks, I agree without reading the terms, a tech executive somewhere pops a fresh bottle of champagne.
It's probably true. They're throwing parties celebrating our apathy.
I have to bring up the lizard food story. This happens to everyone, and they always think they're going crazy.
Oh, let's hear it.
My friend, let's just call him Dave, is standing in his kitchen. His phone is locked, screen black, sitting on the counter. He's casually talking to his wife about how maybe, just maybe, they should get an iguana for the kids.
Okay.
Now, Dave has never searched for iguanas online. He has absolutely no lizard browsing history. He actually hates reptiles. 10 minutes later, he unlocks his phone and opens Instagram. What is the very first ad he sees?
Let me guess. Rare organic lizard food.
Premium iguana chow. How is that possible? If they aren't recording his actual voice, how does that happen?
Well, the skeptic in me initially says it's a coincidence, but the data analyst in me says it's predictive behavioral modeling. Or, more likely, complex location tracking.
Location tracking. How does location explain an ad for lizard food?
Think about it. Did Dave hang out with a friend recently who happens to own a lizard?
Maybe. I don't know his whole schedule.
Did he stand next to someone at the local pet store over the weekend? Or better yet, did his wife search for lizards on her phone earlier that day? Because the algorithm knows they are married. It knows they live at the same IP address. It knows they share a digital connection. If she quietly searches for iguanas on her device, the network assumes he might be interested too, so he gets the ad.
That's almost worse than them just listening to the microphone. It's like they are reading your thoughts through a keyhole, just trying to sell you a new lock for the door. It's so creepy.
It is the vault door, and we happily left it wide open.
Man, let's move to verse 2 because this is where the song gets deeply personal.
Your kid's face in the feed, your every single deed. A private life that's anything but discreet. It's all the data that the scammers need. Your secret profile is now complete. They mapped your habits, they defined your role. Are you a person or just ready to be sold? They own the narrative, they took complete control. So who you now? Just a puppet doing what you're told.
It's one thing to sell my own data. I'm a grown adult. I made the mistake. I clicked the button. But now we are talking about kids.
The lyrics here are genuinely chilling. Your kid's face in the feed. A private life that's anything but discreet.
Yeah.
Just a puppet doing what you're told.
Puppet. Let's zoom in on that specific word. Are we literally raising an entire generation of puppets?
We are talking about the phenomenon of sharenting. This is a massive, massive ethical issue right now. Parents are actively creating a permanent, highly searchable, easily monetizable digital dossier on their own children before those children can even speak their first words.
It's a complete violation of consent. Absolute violation. You are taking a tiny human being who physically cannot say no, and you are plastering their face, their embarrassing tantrums, their potty training moments, their private medical issues all over a massive public database.
It's exactly like the movie The Truman Show.
Yes, exactly.
Except in the movie, everyone in the world knew it was a television show except Truman himself. In this real-world case, the parents are acting as the eager directors, forcing their kid into a 24/7 reality show just for likes and social validation.
But the audience isn't just your friends and your grandmother, it's multinational data brokers.
And that data doesn't just disappear when the kid grows up. That's the thing people always forget. The internet is written in permanent ink, not pencil.
There's an analogy I love to use for this. It's like tattooing your child's social security number right on their forehead while they're sleeping.
That is incredibly dark. But honestly, it's accurate.
You are exposing them to the world. Think about the baby voter concept. A baby hasn't even learned how to walk yet.
Right.
But because the parents have tagged the baby in hundreds of photos, and the parents have a specific documented political affiliation, and they buy specific eco-friendly brands of diapers.
The search engine already has a complex profile built for that infant. It can predict their likely political voting party 18 years in advance.
That is the peak of dystopia. Hey kid, here is your ballot. We already filled it out for you based on the brand of diaper you wore in 2024.
And it affects real things. Their future credit score, their future health insurance rates.
Wait, insurance?
Absolutely. If you post online about your kid having a severe peanut allergy or chronic asthma constantly, an insurance algorithm 20 years from now might scrape that archive data and legally deny them coverage or charge a much higher monthly premium.
You're kidding.
No. The system will flag it. Pre-existing condition found in archived Instagram story from 2025. Claim denied.
Stop. Stop right there. That is way too real.
It's happening right now. And it's dangerous physically, too. I constantly see parents tagging their exact live location at a local park with their newborn. Lovely day at Central Park with baby. Massive mistake here.
And now every single stranger on the internet knows the family dog's name, the baby's full name, and that you are sitting unprotected at the cafe on 5th and Main every single Tuesday morning at exactly 10 a.m.
That is a catastrophic failure of operational security. You are voluntarily doxing your own family for internet points.
Wow. Reminds me of that famous story about Target, the big retail chain.
Oh, yes. The pregnancy prediction model. This is like a classic textbook case study in retail data mining.
Tell it for the listeners who might not know the details, because this perfectly proves the puppet theory hush density is rapping about.
So Target's internal algorithm noticed that a teenage girl's shopping habits slightly changed. Now, she wasn't buying obvious things like diapers or baby cribs yet. She just quietly switched to buying unscented body lotion instead of her usual scented brand. And she started buying specific dietary vitamins like zinc and magnesium.
Very subtle changes. Things a human wouldn't even connect.
Extremely subtle. But the algorithm had seen this exact pattern a million times before. It flagged this specific combination of purchases as a first trimester pregnancy. And it automatically assigned her a hidden pregnancy prediction score in their database.
Without her ever telling a single soul.
Right. So the automated marketing system started mailing physical coupons for baby cribs and maternity clothes directly to her family's house.
Oh, boy.
Her father opened the mail one day. He was absolutely furious. He drove down to the local store, found the manager, and started yelling, "Why are you sending maternity coupons to my high school daughter? Are you trying to encourage her to get pregnant?"
And then what happened?
The manager apologized profusely. But a week later, the dad called the manager back to apologize himself. He had sat down and had a long talk with his daughter. She actually was pregnant. The Target algorithm knew about the baby before the child's own grandfather did.
That gives me literal chills down my spine. That is the exact definition of the lyric. They mapped your habits. They defined your role.
Are you a person or just ready to be sold?
Man. All right, moving on to verse 3. Because this is the verse that aggressively fights back against the single most annoying argument in the entire world.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, the nothing to hide argument.
Yes.
I got nothing to hide, you say it with the grins. So why's your front door locked? Would you let the whole world in? You say it doesn't matter, you're not afraid, but your entire life's not your own, it's just being displayed. You say, let them read my text, it's all just cheap talk. It's just like screaming secrets as you walk to one fine day. That joke becomes a crime and they arrest you, now you're serving time.
The lyrics go, I got nothing to hide, you say it with a grin, so why's your front door locked?
And then you say it doesn't matter, you're not afraid, but your entire life's not your own. It's just being displayed.
Okay, let's zoom in on that word, displayed. This highlights the crucial difference between privacy and secrecy. This argument drives me absolutely crazy. People say, well, I'm not a criminal, so I don't need privacy. Let the government or the tech companies look. I don't care.
That is a fundamental logic error. Privacy isn't about hiding illegal crimes. It's about personal autonomy. It's about establishing human boundaries.
I always tell people, if you truly believe you have nothing to hide, hand me your unlocked phone right now. Just hand it over, totally unlocked, and let me freely scroll through all your personal photos and text messages for 5 minutes, and I'll project it on a big screen for everyone in the room to read.
And nobody would ever agree to do that.
Why not? You just said you have nothing to hide.
Because context is king. A slightly flirty text message sent to your spouse might look completely inappropriate to a stranger. Or a photo of you acting goofy at a late-night party might look highly unprofessional to a potential boss reviewing your file.
Exactly. Hush density perfectly captures it. So why is your front door locked? If you have nothing to hide from your neighbors, go ahead and take the solid wood door completely off the hinges. Remove all the curtains from your bedroom windows.
Or consider the bathroom argument. I have nothing to hide in the bathroom. Every human on Earth knows exactly what happens in there. We all brush our teeth. We all take showers.
Right.
So why not just have transparent glass walls on every bathroom in your house?
Because it's about basic human dignity. It's not about hiding a crime scene. It's about maintaining a core version of yourself that isn't publicly owned property.
And the massive risk here is that data taken completely out of its original context becomes a dangerous weapon. Academics call this context collapse.
Yeah. Till one fine day that joke becomes a crime, that lyric hits so hard.
We've seen this play out in the media 100 times.
Yeah.
Someone makes an edgy, sarcastic joke on Twitter back in 2012. It was pure sarcasm.
Yeah.
It was an inside joke referencing a comedy movie that was super popular at the exact time.
Right. Everyone in 2012 got the joke.
But 10 years later, an outrage algorithm digs that specific tweet back up. The cultural context is entirely gone. The movie is long forgotten. And the tone of sarcasm doesn't translate to flat text on a screen.
And suddenly their life is ruined.
They are fired from their job. Their entire career is over in an afternoon. They are permanently branded as a bigot or a terrible person based on a single data point ripped out of context from a decade ago.
Because the data is immortal. You evolve as a person, you change your views, you grow up. But the raw data stays exactly the same forever. It's a digital fossil that can be dug up and used to bludgeon you at any moment.
There's also the very real issue of accidental data leaks. It's not just about what you intentionally post on your timeline. It's about the hidden metadata attached to it. Remember the huge fitness tracker story from a few years ago?
Oh, the soldiers. Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah. Highly trained soldiers stationed on a top-secret, classified military base, I think it was somewhere in the Middle East, were using a popular commercial fitness app to track their daily jogging routes.
Strava, I believe.
And they probably thought, hey, I have nothing to hide. I'm just running in circles to stay in shape.
Right. I'm just counting my steps. What's the harm?
But they had the app set to automatically upload their GPS tracking data to a public global leaderboard.
Then what happened?
The fitness company released a massive global heat map showing aggregate data of where people around the world run the most. And suddenly, in the middle of a barren desert where absolutely nothing is supposed to exist on any official map, there is a bright, glowing, highly detailed outline of a secret military base.
Wow.
You could clearly see the entire outer perimeter. You could trace the exact patrol routes the guards took every single morning.
They completely compromised national security just because they needed to count the calories they burned before breakfast.
Having nothing to hide is a dangerous myth. Every single person has something vital to protect. If it's not your crimes, then it's your location. If it's not your location, then it's your behavioral patterns.
Which perfectly leads us into the absolute scariest part of the entire song, verse 4. The vulnerability of our loved ones.
They know your habits and your mother's name. You made your whole life a public game. So when they call your grandma knowing all the facts and ask for money, how you think she reacts? If your password's weak as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, breaking in's as easy as snapping a toothpick. Got a strong one, but recycle it on every single site. One data leak and suddenly they own your entire life.
They know your habits and your mother's name. If your password's weak as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, breaking in's as easy as snapping a toothpick.
Okay, zoom in on that. Toothpick. That is exactly how strong your digital defense really is. A tiny wooden toothpick trying to stop a swinging sledgehammer.
And the password, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It blows my mind. But I still see this constantly in professional corporate security audits today. It is baffling.
It's not even a lock. It's a welcome mat. It's a bright neon sign flashing, "Please come inside and take my stuff."
But the real danger Hush Density is pointing out here isn't just about bad technology or weak encryption, it's social engineering. He specifically mentions, so when they call your grandma, knowing all the facts.
Ugh, this part just breaks my heart. Because this is hacking the human, not hacking the machine.
Explain exactly how that works for the listeners, because people still think hacking is just a guy typing green code really fast, like in the Matrix movies.
No. Hacking is a con artist. It's a street magician distracting you with one hand while picking your pocket with the other. It's purely about confidence. So imagine this. Because you firmly believe you have nothing to hide, your entire Facebook profile is set to public. I can easily see you have an elderly grandson named Tyler. I can see from his photos that Tyler drives a red Honda Civic. I can also see that Tyler is currently in Mexico on spring break because he just posted a geotagged photo of his tacos 2 hours ago.
Right. All the necessary data is just sitting there in plain sight.
So, as the hacker, I call your grandma. I use a cheap AI voice generator, which, by the way, only takes about 3 seconds of audio from one of Tyler's public TikTok videos to clone perfectly, and I dial her number.
And when she answers, you sound exactly like Tyler.
Exactly like him. I say, "Grandma, it's Tyler. Listen, I'm still in Mexico. It's really bad. I got in a huge wreck in the Honda Civic. I'm sitting in a jail cell right now. I need bail money wired immediately. Please, please don't call Mom. She'll kill me."
And because the scammer confidently knows the exact make of the car, the current location in Mexico, and is using a perfect replica of the grandson's voice.
Grandma panics. All logic instantly shuts down in her brain. Primal fear takes over. She drives to the bank and wires the money to a ghost.
That is the grandma scenario. Your personal carelessness with your own digital data provided the exact ammunition a predator needed to shoot your own family member. You literally handed them the script for the scam.
It makes me so unbelievably angry. The lyric is, "You made your whole life a public game, and the other players in that game are absolute predators."
And then there's the massive issue of password recycling. Song goes, got a strong one, but recycle it on every single site.
Oh, guilty. I know so many people who do this. They have one password for everything. Fido 1985 exclamation point.
It's the skeleton key problem. If you use the exact same password for your random hobby knitting forum in your main checking account.
Because the knitting forum has a cybersecurity budget of absolute zero.
Exactly. The hackers don't target the bank directly. They steal the entire unencrypted database from the weak knitting site. They obviously don't care about your sweater patterns. They take that massive list of email and password combinations, and they run an automated script called credential stuffing.
What's that?
It's a bot that automatically and rapidly tries that exact stolen login combination on Amazon, PayPal, Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, Netflix, thousands of sites a minute.
The domino effect.
Exactly. One tiny tile falls over the insecure knitting forum, and your entire financial life collapses in seconds. It's exactly like copying the master key of your front door and just casually tossing hundreds of copies onto the public street. Eventually, someone's going to walk up and try it, and you're locked.
Okay, we've thoroughly terrified everyone listening. I'm sitting here looking at my own phone right now like it's a ticking time bomb. I feel like just throwing it out the window and moving to a cabin.
Good. Fear is a highly effective first step towards actual awareness. But we can't just leave the audience sitting in the dark, paralyzed. And Hush Density doesn't leave us hanging either. The bridge of the song is the practical solution. It's the digital hygiene lecture.
Underwear on, of course, no debate. So where's your VPN? Don't leave it to fate. You buckle your seatbelt, but skip to where fate. You sanitize your hands, but blindly tap on links all day. Wake up, your digital hygiene's way out of line. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Yeah, the lyrics pivot here. Underwear on, of course, no debate. So where's your VPN? Don't leave it to fate. You buckle your seatbelt, but skip 2FA. You sanitize your hands, but blindly tap on links all day.
I absolutely love these physical metaphors. Hygiene. We wash our hands constantly to avoid germs. We brush our teeth to stop decay. We wear clothes to cover our bodies in public.
Right.
So why is our digital life so incredibly filthy? Why are we practically walking around naked online?
Let's break down the tech terms here using the on fingers method, because we promised the listeners no heavy jargon today. Let's start with VPN. Where's your VPN?
Okay, simple analogy. Imagine a water pipe connecting your house to the city water supply. Normally, on the internet, that pipe is made of perfectly clear glass.
Okay, clear glass.
So anyone standing outside your internet service provider, a random hacker sitting in the same coffee shop as you, or even a government agency can look at that clear pipe and see exactly what is flowing through it. They can see, oh, there goes credit card number. Oh, there goes an embarrassing search for private medical symptoms.
Gross. You are totally exposed.
But a VPN, a virtual private network, is like wrapping that clear glass pipe in 2 inches of solid lead or concrete. The internet provider can still see the physical pipe. They know water is moving from point A to point B,
Right.
but they have absolutely zero idea what is inside the water. It's completely encrypted and scrambled.
Or like driving a car with heavily tinted windows and no license plates.
Exactly. You are driving down the public highway. The traffic cameras see the shape of a car.
Yeah.
But they don't know who is driving, they don't know how many people are inside, and they don't know exactly where you are ultimately going. That is what a VPN does. It restores your basic anonymity.
Makes sense. Then he mentions 2FA. Two-factor authentication. The lyric is, you buckle your seatbelt but skip 2FA.
2FA is beautifully simple. It just means having 2 different locks on the door instead of 1. Most people only have 1 lock, which is the password. If I steal your physical key, which is your password, I can easily open your door and walk right in. But 2FA is a second, entirely different kind of lock that requires something you physically have, not just something you conceptually know, like your fingerprint, or a retina scan, or a physical randomly generated code that changes every 30 seconds on a separate app on your phone.
So even if you manage to steal my password.
I still can't get in because I don't have your physical thumb to press on the scanner, or I don't have your actual smartphone in my hand to see the temporary code.
It's like those giant bank vaults in heist movies. The branch manager has a key and the client has a key, and you literally need to insert and turn them both at the exact same time to open the box.
Or think of going to the airport. You have a boarding pass, which is like your password, but just holding a boarding pass isn't enough to get on the plane. You also have to show a government passport, which is your ID. One piece of paper proves you bought a seat, but the other proves you are actually who you claim to be.
And yet people constantly disable it because they complain it's annoying to wait 5 extra seconds for a text message code.
Listen, it's annoying to buckle a physical seatbelt in your car, too. It wrinkles your nice shirt. It takes 2 seconds of effort every time you sit down. But when you inevitably hit a brick wall at 60 miles per hour, you are really, really glad you took those 2 seconds. 2FA is the seatbelt for your digital identity.
Absolutely. Then hush density also brings up public Wi-Fi. You sanitize your hands, but blindly tap on links all day.
Connecting to open public Wi-Fi at a busy airport or a local coffee shop without using a VPN is basically like aggressively licking the metal handrails on a subway train.
Oh man, that is a horribly visceral image.
But it is the exact digital equivalent of unprotected physical contact with a highly contaminated surface. You are actively sharing a network with every single stranger in that room. If just one of them is a predator running a basic packet sniffer, they can easily intercept your unencrypted traffic. It's called session hijacking.
I actually heard a terrifying story about a guy who just quickly checked his bank balance on a coffee shop Wi-Fi network.
Oh, that is a classic catastrophic mistake.
He just wanted to see if his weekly paycheck had landed in his account yet. In the 10 minutes it took him to sit there and drink his espresso, a hacker sitting 3 tables away on the exact same Wi-Fi network intercepted his active session cookie. By the time he finished his coffee and walked out the door, his entire checking account was completely emptied.
Wow. So that was a $5 cup of coffee that ended up costing $2,000.
Exactly. And then there's phishing, which the song touches on. I sanitize my hands, but blindly tap on links.
This is the classic, look who liked your photo scam. You get an email in your inbox, it looks totally real, it has the right logos, it plays directly on your human vanity. You think, oh, someone liked my photo, let me just click this link to see who it is. Click.
And boom, ransomware infects the system.
It can paralyze an entire office. I actually knew a mid-sized company where one single employee clicked a fake phishing link exactly like that. It instantly locked out every single computer in the building. It encrypted all their client files. The company had to pay a massive ransom in Bitcoin to a hacker group in Russia just to get their own business files back. All because of one careless click before morning coffee.
Man. So we've gone through the whole horror show today. We've deeply analyzed the leash. We talked about being the product, the nightmare sharenting, the absolute myth of having nothing to hide, and the danger of social engineering. We really need to land this plane.
We do. And the chorus of the track sums it up perfectly.
Think, verify, decide. Take back your control. Think, analyze, hide, or just play their role. Wake up, wake up, wake up! Think, verify, decide. But before you get sold, think, analyze, hide, break out of their mold. Wake up, wake up, wake up!
It's the exact mantra we all need to adopt right now.
Think, verify, decide.
Take back your control.
Think, analyze, hide.
Or just play their role.
It really ultimately comes down to that single choice. Are you going to be an active player in your own life, or are you just going to be an NPC? Are you the user of the technology, or are you one being used by it?
I think we actually find some rare common ground here. I mean, I'm an optimist about tools. I genuinely think these digital things can be incredibly useful for society. But you're a deep skeptic about corporate motives.
Very much so.
But despite that, we both entirely agree on the method to fix it.
Paranoia.
Well, I politely call it discipline. But yes, your extreme paranoia and my structured discipline basically lead to the exact same result: taking back control of our lives.
Don't be the product. Be the client. Force these companies to actually work for you on your own terms.
Verify everything you see. If an email looks too urgent, pause and take a breath. If a simple app asks for your GPS location, aggressively deny it. If the Wi-Fi is free and open, do not trust it for a second.
And for the love of everything holy, please go change your password from 123456 right now.
Please snap that tiny woody toothpick and build a solid steel door. Download and use a reliable password manager today.
All right, listeners, we've given you the manual, we've audited the system, now we really need to know where you stand. We have a poll up on the Spotify app right now.
Yes. The question we are asking is, rate your actual digital hygiene after listening to this breakdown.
We put this up in the poll. We need to know where you stand. Here are your options. Be honest. We won't judge much.
Option 1 is the Snowden level. You use unique, randomly generated passwords for every single site. You have strict 2FA on absolutely everything, and your VPN is on 24/7. You are a digital ghost.
Option 2 is the basic level. You use 2FA where you are strictly forced to, like on your banking apps. But you admittedly recycle a few passwords occasionally because you're human and you get lazy.
And option 3 is the kamikaze level. Your password is 123456. It will survive a global nuclear war because you never bother to change it, and you blindly hit I agree on every single pop-up.
Are you option 1, option 2, or option 3? Go to the Spotify app and vote now. We really need to know how vulnerable our audience actually is.
And listen, if you're not on Spotify, or if you have more to say than just a vote, drop a comment. If you have a crazy horror story about being hacked, or maybe you violently disagree with our paranoia and think we're just crazy, drop a comment.
We read everything. Tell us your side of the story below. Did a highly specific lizard food ad follow you around the internet? Let us know. It's time to sign off for today. Remember, the digital world is just a tool. Use it. Don't let it use you.
Stay hidden.
Stay smart.
Wake up.